All right, so I'm here with Kay. Kay, how are you?
I'm doing all right.
Doing all right? Tell me about yourself. Where are you from?
So I'm from Baltimore originally. I was raised here until I was 7 years old. When I was 7, my grandparents took me to Southern California. I grew up in Los Angeles till I was about 11. My grandfather died of cancer, and my grandmother she kind of fell apart after that. So she sent me back here to live with my parents. When I was about 13, I started running away. Both my parents are addicts. The house was just really chaotic and I hated it, you know what I mean? I missed California, I missed my grandparents, I missed the life that I was happy in. So I started running away at 13. At 16, I met a group of kids who were actually from California and like hopped trains and hitchhiked, and I left with them. It was a lot of fun, actually. I ended up in California again for a while. I didn't really stay with my grandmother. She was in like old folks home at that point. You know what I mean? I visited. Ended up in Oregon, trimming weed and whatnot for a while.
You've been all over.
Yeah, pretty much. I fell in love with the music of the Grateful Dead, and it seemed like a really good idea to start following them again when they were touring. Of course, it was the Dead because Jerry's gone, yada yada. But yeah, so I did that for a while. I don't know, yeah. I had a lot of fun for about 11 years doing that. Then, honestly, I got introduced to heroin and crystal meth, and things got a lot harder. Got a lot harder to travel around. I came back here in 2017 to visit with some friends. Reconnected with somebody that I knew from high school, like years before. We got together, things were really good for a while. I got clean, and then in 2019 he was killed, and I jumped back into drugs, and I have been on the streets here in Baltimore ever since then.
Are your parents still local, or where are they at now?
My mother died a few years back. My father is still local. My father's actually out here on the streets as well, getting high.
He's homeless as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is awkward. We run into each other from time to time, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Both like panhandling or copying shit, and it's just weird.
What's you guys' relationship like now? Awkward or?
Yeah, it's uncomfortable. We don't really get along, you know what I'm saying? Like, he was never really a huge part of my life. These days when he sees me, he thinks I like owe him money, you know what I mean? Like he always has his hands out and everything, which I get. I mean, I'm homeless too, but yeah, it's just kind of weird between us.
What do you typically do for money out here?
What you guys met me doing outside of Dunkin' Donuts, just kind of panhandling, flying signs.
Sure.
I do like odd jobs here and there, you know what I mean? I sweep up for like a couple of the shops. I fold pizza boxes some places, things like that. I donate plasma. You know what I mean? I go to a couple of groups where they give you like $10 for coming by every week, things like that.
What's your drug of choice, heroin
Yeah.
or fentanyl?
It's fentanyl now. I mean, they still call it dope. Honestly, a lot of it's not even fentanyl anymore. That xylazine stuff is definitely here.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of like pills mixed in with it. You don't really know what you're getting, honestly.
Is Trank as bad here as it is in Kensington?
It's not as bad yet, but it's definitely getting there. There are some neighborhoods that I'd say are just as bad as Kensington, if not worse. Like, there's certain places where being, you know what I mean, 113 pounds of white girl, like, there's no reason for me to be there day or night.
Is it dangerous out here for a woman?
It's dangerous out here for men too. I mean, let's be real. Like, it's bad out here for all of us. I do think as a female, you get kind of people. You know what I mean? You'll get picked on more. Honestly, there's kids. There's a lot of problems with kids out here, which is crazy. Just over the summer, like I woke up to a group of them throwing rocks at me. A couple months ago, I was panhandling for a blanket outside of CVS. It was really cold, and I had like 4 girls come by and like start making fun of me just for asking for a blanket. You know what I'm saying? Like. It's like stupid. I don't think the guys deal with that kind of shit as much. But I mean, if people want to rob you or like, you know what I mean, confront you in an alley in the middle of the night, something like that, it doesn't matter if you're a guy or a girl. Like, it's gonna happen.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you feel like the hardest part about maybe trying to change and get clean is, and kind of go in a different direction?
A lot of it, honestly, the programs out here, very few of them are actually designed to get you out of this lifestyle. Most of them seem like they are really designed to kind of keep you in the loop of program hopping, more or less, which, I mean, that gets really old, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, like, they're not really, a lot of them, they want money before you're actually able to even start working. The amount that they want, you know what I mean, doesn't really help. So you only get about like 2.5, 3 months at any program before you have to transfer to another one because you can't afford to stay at the first one. Or they spend, you know what I mean, 6 to 10 months keeping you inside, and then your time is up, you have to leave, and you haven't had a chance to, like, you know what I'm saying, like have a job or like make money to, like, I don't know, get any kind of rent. A lot of them too, like, they just kind of put you on methadone, and then, like, that's that, and, like, that doesn't, it's not really helping anything, to be honest with you. It doesn't even really, like, combat cravings. Like, for the stuff that's on the street now, you just end up with another habit.
What is the withdrawal from Trank like?
It's fucking miserable, honestly. You spend about 5-6 days just, like, puking and shitting your guts out. Like, you're so horrifically sick, and then, like, by the end of that, you're weak and weary, and it's just, the thought of it never goes away. It's like you can't, it's like your brain chemistry, I don't think, is meant to handle that much of a flood of, like, positive, you know what I mean, or like happy feeling chemicals all at once. And, like, it's like once you get past, like, the physical withdrawal of it, like, you feel like you'll never be happy, or you'll never be yourself, you'll never be anything without it.
Have you ever overdosed?
Quite a few times, actually.
Yeah. What was that experience like?
You don't know what's happening before it happens, and then there's all of a sudden a crowd of people around you. Sometimes they're EMTs, sometimes they're just other people on the street, and you are sick as a motherfucker from the Narcan. I've actually ended up in the hospital before in cardiac arrest because people, like, way over administered Narcan, which is a problem in and of itself. Like, they're giving it away like candy on the streets to people who don't know how to use it, who don't care to learn how to use it, and it honestly, like, it can be bad if you use too much of it. Like, yeah, like, 5
so you
things
went
in
into
Narcan
cardiac
is not
arrest
okay.
from that?
Yeah.
That's crazy. What's the worst thing that's happened to you out here?
I think, like, losing my sense of self-respect and like losing like the drive to get better. If that makes any sense.
Yeah. No, I get it. Do you feel like just defeated?
Very much so, yeah.
Yeah. What do you think, or is there anything that could kind of get you to regain that sense of self-worth and kind of get
trying to figure out what a life worth living would look like and how to get there, honestly.
What does happiness look like to you?
I don't even know. I know what oblivion looks like, but I don't know what happiness is anymore.
Do you have any kids?
No. Honestly, I thank God for that. I know if I had kids, they wouldn't be with me, and I never wanted to put a kid through the kind of shit that I went through. I just didn't think that was fair.
Yeah. What's the hardest part for you about all of this?
Making myself get through the day every day.
Yeah. Where do you typically sleep at?
Honestly, wherever. I fall asleep every few days. It's not really all that safe to sleep out here, especially at night. So most of the time during the night I walk around. I usually sleep on the train during the day. It's warm. People won't mess with you.
I would imagine all this is, like, completely exhausting, right?
Very much so, yeah.
Like, if you just want to take a nap throughout the day, is that even an option?
The train.
That's about it.
Yeah.
How are
People
the
wake
cops
you up
around here,
everywhere.
like, wake for sleeping and things like that, or?
They usually just come and wake you up. For the most part, they ignore us. There's a couple of really nice ones out here who will, like, buy you lunch, stuff like that when they see you, but they don't really care about us, honestly. Like, we're not even on the radar.
Priority,
like homeless people. Not at all. With, like, everything else that goes on out here, like.
Do you feel like there's enough resources out here, or do you think people just don't utilize them?
I think they're harder to access than you know what I mean, than it's maybe advertised. And I think that there's enough of them out here. I don't think they're being utilized correctly, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, no, I get it. If you could leave a message to, women in particular, but even just anybody as a whole, kind of going through what you're going through now, or, especially younger teenagers and kids and children and things like that, what would that be?
I mean, ultimately, drugs aren't the answer. They're not going to help anything. They're not. they're not even really the problem. So like, don't look at them as a solution. They're the final physical manifestation of like something fractured within you, and do whatever you can to fix that and reach out for other people while you still can.
Yeah. Kay, I definitely appreciate your time.
Thank you. Appreciate you.